Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to the best damn movie-related show on the planet Earth, the John Campea Show, coming from right here on our quaint little YouTube channel, where the movie news is prey to none. The movie news is friend to none. The movie news is predator to all. Good to have you guys here. Joining me in studio is Jonathan Boyko. It's not family friendly what he said. Writer, director, producer Robert Meyer Burnett is here.
It's pretty good, John. I like that.
I like that too. And most importantly, of course, you guys are here. Thank you so much for being here and making our little show part of your day. And here's how today's show is going to go. We're going to start off by talking about a few predetermined topics we got lined up for you guys, and they're all glorious. Then in the second part of the show, we're going to take your comments and questions. The way you get in a comment or question on our show is by sending it into our tip link that you can get at 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at www.streamelements.com/JohnCampea/tip. And listen, guys, before we get started here, going to let you guys a little bit of housekeeping. We have finalized, we got all the details now in place for the next stretch of the movie meetups. And they are, I actually have these out of order. So let me start at the first one. Dallas, Texas. Of course, I announced this one yesterday. Dallas, Texas, Tuesday, November the 18th. I will be at the Cinemark Dallas XD and IMAX at the 6:55 screening of Running Man. If you would like to come to the movie meetup, go on over to the Cinemark website, get yourself tickets for that showtime. I kid you not, when I set up that as the movie meetup, there were no tickets sold for that screening. Woke up the next day, there were 60 tickets sold for that screening.
Wow.
So go get your tickets soon. Then the very next night, we're going to be in Austin, Texas. On Wednesday, November the 19th, I'm going to be at the Galaxy Theater, Austin, for the 7:20 screening of Now You See Me, Now You Don't. So make sure you guys go get your tickets for that. If you
The
want to
return
come.
of the king of that franchise.
Yeah, whatever. It's a new movie. We're going to go see it. And then on Monday, November the 24th, I'm going to be in Orlando, Florida at the AMC Disney Springs for the 6:30 p.m. screening of Wicked for Good. So if you guys want to come hang out, that's where we're going to be on those nights. Now, I'll mention what I mentioned yesterday. I know when I originally announced this leg of the movie meetups, Atlanta was going to be one of them. Our schedule changed. We no longer have that extra day available to go to Atlanta. So don't worry. Come spring, when we start planning places like North Carolina and Nashville and stuff like that, we will make sure we visit Atlanta. 100%. Atlanta's definitely a priority of mine. We're just not going to get to do it this next couple of weeks. But we'll look forward to seeing all you guys in Austin, Dallas, and Orlando, Florida. All right, guys. With all that down, let's get things started with this. Went to go see Predator Badlands last night. Now, listen, I've been pretty hyped about it. I thought the trailers have looked absolutely fantastic. I loved hearing the early reactions. I loved reading the reviews. Oftentimes, though, movies that I'm excited about and hear good things about early, I end up maybe not liking so much. But if you saw my out-of-theater reaction from last night, you guys know this is not one of those situations.
Yeah, dude. I didn't see it. I'm glad to hear you say that.
Oh my God. Predator Badlands is so much fun.
Bro.
It's so much fun. First of all, I mean, I love the fact, and we're going to do it in a non-spoilery way. We'll talk about some things you've already seen in the trailers. But, you know, they are very hardcore into the Utja, mythos. But they set up Dek as being an anomaly. Dek is not a standard traditional predator. He is not a standard Utja. He does not fit with a lot of the norms of the Utja. And so they do a lot in the movie to kind of highlight that he's a bit different. And because he's a bit different, this movie goes a little bit differently than you might think a Predator movie might go. And for anybody, I said this in the open spoiler discussion, or not open spoiler, in the out of theater reaction. Anybody who's been worried about, oh, boo-hoo, it's PG-13, that means it's not. There's so much violence.
That's alleviated in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
By the way.
Immediately. There's decapitations in the first 5 minutes.
Yes.
It's immediate. There's a lot of violence in this movie. I love Dek. And you know what?
Are you going to buy the hot toy?
No, probably not.
Oh.
I can't spend my money on hot toys.
Come on, you can get if you get her and him, you can pose that.
Dude, you know you're going to get the hot toy with both of them.
You know what? Obviously, seeing the two, they're very reminiscent. I've said this before of God of War, where Kratos is walking around with the head of his buddy on his belt. Anyway, the action is great. It's legitimately fun.
So much fun.
It's quite funny in moments. It doesn't go out of its way to be overly funny, but it picks moments to be funny, and it really is. The visual effects are surprisingly good.
Oh.
And you know what? Watching it, none of the other Predator stuff has ever done this for me. None of even the stuff I like Prey, even stuff like Predator Killer of Killers. What this movie did for me was made me look at the original Arnold Schwarzenegger Predator a little bit different. I have never once thought, I wonder if I put myself in the shoes of that Predator.
Right.
That Jesse Ventura and Arnold Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers were trying to fight. And this one actually made me did a little bit, right? Again, look, is this going to be the #1 best film of the year? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I had a ball with it. And all these things we've heard about Elle Fanning is fantastic in this. This is kind of like a breakout for Elle Fanning and stuff like that. They're not kidding. She's wonderful in this. She plays it perfectly. She plays it absolutely perfectly. I love the character. I love the relationships, the character developments. I love the environment they drop him in. This world he's in is utterly fantastic. I just had a lot of fun. And I said this in my out of the theater reaction. I will say it again here, but I won't give it away. And Rob, maybe you will agree with me, maybe you won't. One of the best final lines in a movie ever.
Dude.
Ever.
Dude.
When he says the final line, I lost my shit.
You know what? You know what's really great about that? They're holding on this shot.
Right. We won't give away what the shot is or anything.
I'm watching this and I'm like, huh. Because I'm like, what does this mean? And then the line comes. I like you was just like
he says that line. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. And you know what? There's a twist in the story that I at first totally didn't see coming. There's a little bit of a twist. Again, won't give it away, but there's a bit of a twist.
I wonder if it's me too. I was going to mention that. I didn't see this coming either.
Yeah.
If it's the same thing that we're talking about.
I'm talking about like his target. And
yes.
Yes. It got me. I'm like, oh, okay, but it made sense.
You totally made. I didn't see that coming. I was like, dude, like you, I knew how much I was going to love this movie. So, you're watching the first 10 minutes.
First of all, the first 10 minutes are awesome.
Are the most banging things. And it cuts to this shot. It cuts to this. It's a landscape shot, But if you look closely, this entire landscape is alive. Like you're seeing mountains, but there's things hanging off the bottom of the mountains that are like
awe-inspiring.
Yeah, and I'm like, what is? And then the title card comes on. Boom! It's just this Predator Badlands. I laughed out loud. I was just like, bravo! I mean, I was so in on this movie. And you know what's really funny? Because I did an out of the theater review too. And I have to say,
I saw that you did, and I skipped over it quick because I didn't want to know until we sat down today to find out.
So I gotta say, I had a beer beforehand because I like to sit down at the Harkins, have a little beer. But then I had a beer and a glass of wine and my popcorn, and I took it with me. And I devoured them all. And I haven't had so much fun in a theater, and I can't remember when. I mean, I've seen some good movies, but there was so much in this movie that delighted me. There's a book that came out called Barlow's Guide to Extraterrestrials, which was Wayne Barlow's an artist that painted all these aliens that were from sci-fi literature that had never been portrayed on screen before. Everything like when he lands on this planet, all the stuff on this planet, everything that's going to kill you, looked like it was from Barlow's Guide to Extraterrestrials, but painted by the great Frank Frazetta, who did that Molly Hatchet album cover. Yep. And I'm like, this entire movie looks like a 70s van painting. You know, like it was everything that there was so much creativity in every frame of this movie. I'm looking at this going, there was so much to see, and it's whipping by. I wanted to pause the thing and go, I got to look at that. You
It
know,
was a beautiful film.
dude, it's gorgeous.
It's a gorgeous
shot
film,
in New
yeah.
Zealand. You know, I don't understand. I felt like I was watching an '80s movie. That's what I said.
Yeah.
It had the tone.
Yeah.
Whether it's, I said it was like watching Fright Night or Back to the Future or Ghostbusters, where I'm just watching this movie having so much fun watching it, because it was like a Dark Horse comic. And like you said, as the plot was going along, and then it started things that I wasn't expecting. Like you said, there's a twist that I didn't see. I'm like, of course, but I didn't see it at all. And then you as you moved through the story, even the relationships that were developing, like Elle Fanning's character, I was very fascinated by that. I didn't expect to be as fascinated by that as I was. And they solved a problem that I thought Alien Earth had, which was that Weyland Yutani was pretty stupid sending a bunch of human beings to go gather all these dangerous
When they
alien
could just send synths.
synths. Yeah, and I'm like, of course they did. I mean, it's like Trachtenberg knew he didn't actually write. He came up with the story, but didn't write the script. I thought the script was great.
Yeah.
I thought dude, I love this movie.
Now, somebody's asking in the live chat, say, are there anything in it, any negatives in it that you'd want to highlight? It's, again, look, is this a perfect movie? No. But you approach a film based on what it is, right?
Yes.
And for what this film is and what this film was aiming to do, it achieved it so well. Now, I'll say this. How about this? I could have used a little more time on the Utja homeworld. I think I could have enjoyed seeing a little bit more of Utja culture.
Utja Prime.
Yeah, on Utja Prime, which is the name of their world. I could have used a little bit more of that. I also think there's a sequence that involves Elle Fanning's character having some physical trouble that I maybe for 3 or 4 seconds came across as a little cheesy. That's all I got.
I laughed.
I laughed too. I did. I laughed too. But I mean, really, for what it is, I just had a good time, man. Again, I'm not saying this is going to end up in my top 5 films of the year. I just had a good time, man. And I'm going to listen, if it wasn't for the fact that clearly Ann and I are going to our first hockey game of the year, we're going to go watch the Kings play the defending Stanley Cup champions tonight. But if I wasn't doing this, I'd be going back to the theater tonight to go watch this again. I'm really excited about going to watch this movie again.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's another thing too that I've been roasted online for having a great response to this movie. And I'm like, the things that people have said to me, I'm like,
but the vast majority of people are loving this movie.
I think
it's not like everybody's hating it and you're coming out and saying almost everybody is loving this movie.
Yeah. No, it's just a weird, like, look, this film has a sensibility in it. Is it about an invisible monster killing military officers in violent ways? No. There's a lot more going on in this film that was classical storytelling. It reminded me of Japanese samurai movies. It reminded me of anime. It reminded me of Chinese magic movies. I mean, it had all these different, and in a way, putting together a team. You know, like these disparate misfits that have to come
careful,
together.
don't go too much into the thing. Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like it was there was all of these classical storytelling tropes that were that were foundationally part of this movie that I've always loved. It was a combination of a bunch of things that I loved, and I thought that, like you said, you have to ask yourself, did the filmmakers succeed in the assignment that they were given or the assignment they gave themselves? And I would say that Dan Trachtenberg set out to make specifically a sci-fi action adventure in the Predator universe. And he smashed it. I mean, he did exactly what he set out to do. And he did it in this wildly entertaining way. And I sat there the entire time with a giant grin.
I did too. A big smile. You know when it started? The little thing look, I'm going to spoil literally the first thing you see on screen. So this is at the very beginning of the movie. just this text. First of all, you kind of hear like a Dune prophet.
It's like the Sardaukar.
Yeah, the
chanting.
Sardaukar. And there's just these words come up on screen. It's a Yachu proverb.
Yeah, from
It
their
just says-
codex.
From their codex, the
Yeah.
Yachu codex, and it says, Yutja or Yutja.
Yukja.
Yutja is prey to none. Yutja is friend to none. Yutja is predator to all. And as soon as that came on screen, I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah.
I got a big smile on my face, and I'm like, let's do this.
I mean,
let's go.
I'm watching this. At first, I'm like, I have no idea what kind of movie this is. I love that quote, and then the whole thing starts. And it's the first 10 minutes, and I was like, oh my God. And then it keeps going before the title card comes on, and this, you'll see. But when the title card finally came on,
Predator Badlands.
Yeah. I was like, I literally yelped, and I was like applauding.
Did you notice too when the title card comes on screen, they did the old 1960s thing where a so-and-so picture.
Yes.
Blah, 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 blah.
When's
the last time you
Dude,
saw
it was-
that? Was like 1952.
Well, they did kind of a card like they did. There was a black and white card for Prey.
Yeah.
I mean, and that was another thing. I'm like, just that alone, it shows the level of thought that was put into this movie. It even started with Dan Trachtenberg, a little video of him saying, thanks for coming to see the film.
because it was technically an early fan
Yeah,
screening
it was
last
an early
night,
fan screening.
which was ridiculous. Because me and my friends were laughing at it because we were at an early fan screen last night, so they opened up with Dan Trachtenberg saying, thank you for being the first audience to come to see this. And then he explains the movie for 3 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm like, we're literally here in the
Yeah.
movie. You don't have to explain the movie to us. We're about to watch it. We're in the theater.
By the way, the score was great.
Music was great.
I love this movie a lot.
Yeah. It's somebody in the live chat is asking, by the way, somebody's saying, oh, well, we literally have not given away a single spoiler. Like I told you the opening frame of text.
Yeah.
If you consider that a spoiler, seek professional help.
But also, you said you were going to do that before you did it. So it's like,
Oh, yeah.
it's like,
I mean,
come
so
on.
literally the stuff we're talking about, we've given nothing away in the movie. And the only things we've talked about in specifics are things that have been in trailers. But somebody's asking, do you have to see Prey to see this? Absolutely not.
No.
I'll go one step further. You don't have to have seen any Predator movie because my wife Ann has never seen a Predator movie.
Yeah.
Oh, she saw Prey.
But you don't have to see Predator.
Janet Ball, you do not have to have seen Prey.
That's
if
how
you
I
didn't
feel.
see Prey, don't let that, because you're fine.
Yeah, that's how I felt about the Romulus. You really didn't have to have seen any other aliens. Like
No.
the first alien would have been fine, but like you didn't have to.
But I did like the fact that I think that if you were a kid, like let's say you're 8 years old and you went and saw this and it might be your first experience seeing a fantasy movie in the theater, this is going to make you a lifelong fan. I wish I kept sitting there going, I was thinking about when it was over. I'm like, if I was a little kid and somebody took me to this movie, this would have been the greatest thing I'd ever seen. I mean,
Now, and by the way, best of my knowledge, no post-credit scene. Just so if you go,
No, I
don't
watched.
need to stick around for
I
the
stayed.
post-credits. No post-credit scene. But don't leave even 30 seconds early, because it, to me, is the best final line in a movie I've heard in years.
So good.
That just killed me.
And also, it kind of came out of left field. It was just so perfect.
Anyway, guys, question is for you. Did you have a chance? They had some of these advanced fan screenings across the country last night. Did you have a chance to go see the movie already? Are you planning on going to see it? I think I can speak for Rob as well here when I say I highly recommend it. Again,
Yeah.
I don't see it winning any Oscars or anything like that. It's just a really fun movie. Go check it out. Whatever you guys thought about it, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to this, shall we? You know, there's been talk for a long time, years. Going back to my AMC days. I remember doing stories about, hey, they're talking about maybe doing a Gremlins 3.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward 10 years later, we can now tell you, according to this report in the Hollywood Reporter, it's now done. It's official. Warner Brothers is making Gremlins 3. Steven Spielberg is on to produce. Chris Columbus is coming back. And they've even got a release date for it. It's coming out in November 2027. 2 years. It's going to be in theaters. That means pre-production on this already started a while ago. They just haven't officially announced this thing. This thing's coming out in like 2 years. The folks over at the Hollywood Reporter wrote the following. Warner Brothers is reviving the Gremlins franchise after more than 3 decades and with a couple of powerhouse names back on board. Warner Brothers Discovery Chief David Zaslav announced the green light of a new Gremlins film during the company's third quarter earnings call on Thursday. Zaslav said Steven Spielberg is back on board as the executive producer through his company Amblin Entertainment. The 1984 original film's writer, Chris Columbus, is also returning to produce and direct the film this time around. All right. This is something, again, that has been floating on the wind like a fart at a party for like almost a decade. That the fact that they were going to do this or going to do this every 18 months, there'd be new Westeros. Oh, did you hear now there's new movement? I remember about a year and a half ago, the original star of the first couple of films said, I think they've got a script that they really like now. I mean, just like every 18 months there was something. I'll be honest with you, Rob. I never actually thought this would happen. I really didn't. I really didn't think it would happen. And not to be the wet blanket, I'm not entirely sure it should be happening. And I bring that up because I only say that, and don't get me wrong, I'll be there to see it opening day for sure. But as the article points out itself, this is a 3-decade-old franchise that some people remember fondly. But it's not something that has endured and gained new followings as time is going. You know, there are properties there are decades old properties that do that. That like every new generation, every 5 years is roughly an entertainment generation. But like every generation, it finds new fans and eventually they'll go do another one. I don't know that there's actually, and I'm saying I don't know. Literally, I don't know. I'm not saying there's not. I don't know if there's a hunger for another Gremlins. I don't know if there's an audience for another Gremlins. I know I'm curious about it, so I'll be there, but I don't know if a lot of my other fellow film fans are going to be there for it. And what do you do with it? I mean, we get it. You can't feed them after midnight. We get it. You can't get them wet. We've already seen what happens when you do. And it's great, by the way. Listen, I'll go one step further. I thought said. Gremlins 2 was too much. I don't even know that they should have done Gremlins 2. So, look, am I kind of happy that this is getting done? I'm not going to lie, I kind of am. And I'll be there for it because I love Gremlins. I just don't know that there's a market for it right now. Anyway, Rob, you heard about this. Are you surprised that it's happening? Is it a good idea, bad idea? What do you think?
Well, I love this franchise. And it kind of is sentimental for me because I worked at Warner Brothers in the physical production department when Gremlins 2 got made. So I was on the set of the movie. They built the mall on stage 16. It was an incredible set. But I thought Gremlins 2 was too much. I thought it went a little too far. But that said, I think in this day and age, if you look at the Gremlins as allegorical, they bring anarchy and chaos. Yeah. And they always have been allegorical to a degree, really. Yeah. And in this day and age, in our political climate and the way the world is, you know, everything from social media I can't imagine Gremlins with social media. I mean, once they figure out how to use a phone, they'll set up some. They'll.
We're gonna get influencer gremlin.
Influencer gremlin. All I can think about is whatever they're gonna do. And you've got to bring back Zach Galligan and Phoebe Cates. You have to.
Oh, I know you're gonna get Zach back, but I'm pretty sure Phoebe Cates is kind of like double down, saying I'm retired from acting.
I know, but I don't care.
Okay,
you got to call. Get
well,
Kevin Kline.
You got to at least give her a call.
Call her husband and put Kevin Kline in the movie too to get her back because they're the only people that know. Like for 40 years, Gremlins have been dormant. No one knows what they are. And maybe Zach still got Gizmo, old Gizmo, Mogwai. You know
the original Grogu.
Yeah, the original Grogu, and they're going to come back and reclaim their throne. Baby Yoda's got nuts. I mean, you could even do Baby Yoda's going to make some kind of an appearance, some cameo,
or a toy. A Baby Yoda toy.
Totally.
Thing, yeah.
But yeah, I want to see what they do. Because maybe this will be the Top Gun Maverick of Gremlins movies. movie.
Top Gun Maverick of Gremlin. I mean, listen, it could be. I mean, it could be great. I'm just wondering, Rob, as a 3-decade-old franchise that has not had staying power.
No. Although the first Gremlins is a great Christmas movie.
Oh, it's a wonderful Christmas movie. Are people going to go see it? I just don't know that there's an audience waiting to rush out to the theater to see it.
If it's snarky enough, if it's mean-spirited enough, because you got to go for the jugular with this movie, which I hope to do.
Yeah, I was going to say something that I saw, but I'm thinking better of it, and I probably shouldn't. Anyway, guys, question is for you. It is now official. Spielberg is back. Chris Columbus is back. Gremlins 3 is on. We even have a release date, November 2027, just 2 years away before it hits theaters. Whatever you guys think about all this, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right. With that down, guys, let's move on to this. Under the leadership of CEO Adam Aron, it is now being reported that AMC Theaters has lost about $300 million just in the third quarter, from July to September. As reported here in this story here in Variety, AMC Theaters posts a $298.2 million loss despite certain summer hits like Superman, Jurassic World Rebirth, and stuff like that. So, year to date, AMC Theaters has lost over $500 million this year. Remember, this isn't even counting October. Great, we get it. October was like the worst
yeah.
October box office in almost 30 years, but that's not counting October. Just from the beginning of the year to September, AMC Theaters has lost almost $500 million, over $500 million. Now, to me, this highlights an incredible example of the short-sightedness of not just AMC Theaters, the theater industry in general, although there are some theater chains doing it better than others. Got to point that out. But let's go over, because so that's AMC, the report in Variety, but Ankler kind of put it a little bit better. Ankler gave us some actual numbers. As ticket prices, concession prices increased, it couldn't make up for the drop in attendance. Look, the revenue for the quarter was $1.3 billion. That's down 3.6% for a net loss of $298 million for the quarter. And they are $505 million loss for the first 9 months of 2025. Okay, so keep that number in mind, right? Lost $300 million for the quarter, $500 million for the year so far. At the same time, attendance has dropped 10%. Yet, look at the average ticket price. The average ticket price has gone up 7%. The amount of attendance has gone down 10%. They've increased the price of their tickets by 7%. And yet, even with increasing the price of their concessions, which also went up, I think by about 14% or something like that. If I might not be remembering that number correctly. But anyway, the concession prices have gone up. Ticket prices have gone up. And yet they have still lost $500 million this year. I'm going to tell you why.
Lay it on me.
Let's go to the Campea classroom for a second. It's what I call the AMC death spiral. See, here's the thing. There's clearly a problem, right? There's clearly a problem. Here's what AMC thinks the problem is. AMC thinks the problem is we're losing money. They think that's the problem. So what do? If your problem is that you are losing money, well, then increasing your prices becomes a viable solution. Oh, we're losing money. Okay, that's the problem. That's the problem. We're losing money. And if that's the problem, we'll just raise our prices and that will fix the problem. The issue is that's not the real problem. Look at that number. Sorry, there it is. Attendance has gone down again. This year, 10%. That means losing money isn't the problem. The problem is fewer people are coming to our theaters. That's the problem. AMC is already starting off badly by misidentifying what the problem is. The problem is not that you're losing money.
That's a symptom.
That is the repercussion. Mm-hmm. That is the cause and effect. As Jonathan just said, that's a symptom of what the real problem is. The real problem is fewer people are coming, and the consequence of that problem is that you're losing money. So if you think the problem is we're losing money, raising prices. But that's not the problem. The problem is you're getting fewer and fewer people coming to your theaters. And if the problem is fewer and fewer people are coming to your theaters, then what your solution to the wrong problem actually just makes the problem worse. Because here's the death spiral. Okay? Take this out. We lose money. Therefore, we increase prices. Let me rephrase this, because they think the problem is we lose money. No, the problem is we have fewer people coming, so we increase the prices to make up for that. We've increased the prices so fewer people come, so we increase the prices so fewer people come. Ah!
I love the point about the schooler flirt is really good. I love that you brought that up.
It becomes their death spiral. We increase our prices. Therefore, fewer people come. Oh, fewer people are coming. We better increase our prices. You've increased your prices, so fewer people come. So you increase your prices, so fewer people come. They have misidentified the problem for ages. And ultimately, even at the core of their main problem, which is fewer people are coming to the theaters, you ain't gonna make money. There's nothing you can do to make money if you are consistently and at a regular cadence losing your consumers.
Yeah.
There is no workaround. No. There is no solution that will fix that problem of you losing money if you do not address the issue that fewer and fewer people are coming. Yeah. Well, we'll do this little promotion. That's great, but it ain't going to fix the problem if fewer people come next year. Well, we'll increase the prices to make up for the lack of revenue. Well, that's great, but it ain't going to help anything when even fewer people come to your theater next year. And at the root of fewer people coming is the cause that nobody in the entertainment industry, nobody in the movie theater industry wants to point at and admit. You're making your movie-going experiences worse. Oh, we have 30 minutes of commercials, but I can't figure out why fewer people are coming. Oh, I was at Predator Badlands last night. Special combo deal. A popcorn and 2 soft drinks. $30 fucking dollars. $30. That's the deal. That's the special. Now listen, I more than anybody else understands that concession revenue is how movie theaters keep their lights on. I understand that, but there's a limit. I just got a 12 case of Diet Pepsi, Rob. Cost me about $6. That's 50 cents a can. I paid $10. If you break up the popcorn from 2 soda, I paid $10 last night. Oh, now, granted, AMC has the best thing in movies. I always give them their flowers for this. AMC A-List is the best. But if I didn't have AMC A-List, the 2 movie tickets itself was going to cost me $42.
Yeah.
So you continuously throw more and more commercials in front of the audience. You keep increasing the prices of the tickets to make up for the fact that fewer people are coming. And then even your bundled deals are costing me $30 for 2 sodas and a popcorn? The core root here is what clowns like Adam Aaron refuse to acknowledge or admit out loud or refuse to address is that the problem is not that there's a lack of quality movies. There's some good movies out there. There's some bad ones. Always are. But some good ones too. The problem is not that you're not charging enough. The problem is that you have consistently eroded the movie-going experience with your bullshit. With easily fixed things. Hey, I don't know. Maybe if we tell people a movie starts at 7, we should start it close to 7. I don't know. Just spitballing. Maybe if somebody wants what would cost them outside of the theater about $3, maybe we should charge them $12 instead of $30. I don't know. Maybe as the economy is rough and whatever, maybe we shouldn't be charging $21 for a movie. Hey, listen, I've said on this show and I'll stand by it, a night out of entertainment for $21, you try even just going to the bar for $21. Good luck. But still, it, as the Angler article pointed out, Rob, their price increases are far exceeding that of inflation.
Yeah.
Far outpacing. They're lapping inflation. And so we get articles like this one, AMC Theater posts $300 million. And meanwhile, the brain trust over at AMC Theaters, well, I can't figure, well, gosh, you know what? Let's just increase our prices and we'll make up for the money that we lost. And then next year comes along, it's like, wait, we lost another $500 million. Oh gosh, I guess we better increase our prices. None of them are willing. And if anybody at Cinema United, the people who put on CinemaCon, call me, make me your keynote speaker this year. Because I'll get in front of your movie theater owners and I'll tell them the truth. I'll tell them the truth. You are not
I'll make you pay.
giving. You are not giving the moviegoer a better movie-going experience holistically. Mm-hmm. How much does it cost? How convenient is it? How much of their time are you stealing? And until the movie theater industry, and Rob, I get angry because I love. You know that. I love the movie theaters. That's church to me. As much as I complain and bitch and moan and piss and cry about AMC, whatever, I still go to AMC all the time. I love the movie-going experience. I love movie theaters. I love you guys. And if I didn't love you, I wouldn't get pissed off. But I do love you, which is why I get so mad. Because you know who's killing streaming isn't killing the movie-going experience. Streaming isn't killing movie theaters any more than Blu-rays did, or DVDs, or VHS, or anything else that everybody said for the last 50 years was going to kill movie theaters. Never did, never will. You know what's killing movie theaters? Movie theaters.
Yeah.
And again, I acknowledge there are some that do it better than others. There are some movie theaters chains that are doing it really well and are trying to do it right. But hey, yeah, folks over at Cinema United, put me on your stage at CinemaCon, because somebody needs to get in front of the movie theater owners. Somebody has to get in front of the movie theater owners and tell them the truth. You are killing the movie-going experience. You are killing the movie industry. It ain't anybody else. It's you. Now, some people say, well, no, it's only a problem because, the economy is rough right now. The movie-going industry has always proven to almost be economy proof.
The Depression proved that.
The Depression proved that. The house market crash proved that. Go look at the box office results.
But they had to
during
make
the house
themselves a haven in this economic situation.
Yeah.
They can't be an outlier.
Exactly.
Well, Quentin Tarantino said, and you could see it, he talks about how movie theaters were always entertainment for the every person. Yeah. That the every person, no matter what was going on, should be able to afford to go to the movies.
It's where you went when your air conditioner wasn't working in the summer. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah, or as even Chris Rock put recently, I love that quote from Chris Rock saying, the reason movies always going to be there, there's no better or cheaper way to go on a date. But again, it's this death spiral. Mm-hmm. We have fewer people coming, so we increase prices, so we have fewer people coming, so we increase prices, so we have fewer people coming. It is the death spiral. They think the problem is losing money. They're failing to realize that the problem is that fewer people are coming, and the root cause of that is that they are not giving the experience for the money that they're charging. Anyway, Rob, you see this, AMC has lost, despite the fact that they keep raising their prices.
I was so riveted listening to you, I forgot I was even on the show.
They have lost $500 million this year so far, $300 million. in the third quarter alone. Surprised, not surprised, bigger number than you. Even I got to admit that was a bigger number than I thought.
Yeah.
But anyway, what's your takeaway?
It was a big number, but I'm with you 100% on this. I'll give you an example. I really like the Harkins Theater chain. Now, to be fair, they don't necessarily have the presentation that the Regal Spectrum, Irvine Spectrum has, or AMC, the Dolby Cinemas. But when I went in and saw Predator Badlands last night, after I walked out, I was so hyped, and I was one of the last people out of the theater. The manager, who recognizes me from this show, stopped me and said, did you notice what we're doing? We're converting another one of our theaters into one of the Cine XL screens.
Oh, that's great.
I didn't even know that. And he was telling me about, and he goes, and he also said, I know you've talked about the projection in some of our cinemas, because they've got great projection. It's just their luminance levels and their black levels. And he explained
too low.
Well, no, they're just older projection systems. They're not like the brand new. He goes, we're alleviating that issue as well. And I'm like, because they listen. The people at Harkins pay attention, and they know what's up. And what they screen there. I love that theater chain. It's great. I don't know. I want to call them up and just tell them I love you guys. I don't know why I feel the need to do that, because I don't know if you remember, one of the Harkins guys spoke at CinemaCon a couple of years ago.
Yes, I remember that.
And it's not a huge theater chain, but they know what their audience is going. They support these. There was a 48-hour film festival happening there last night, which I thought was rad. But I think you're right. The problem is everything is corporate. Adam Aron is a corporate thinking guy. He's a Wall Street guy. That's what he's.
He's a moron.
Well,
in my own personal evaluation alone. By the way, let me just say, I have heard. I need to throw in this disclaimer. I have actually heard. It is surprising how many people at AMC, even in the head offices at AMC, still communicate with me and contact me. I have been told by people who have worked with Adam Aron, just to be fair, that he is, from the reports I'm hearing from people who know him, that he's legitimately a really nice guy. And I feel like I should say that. Like, from everybody I've talked to, saying he's a straight up guy, he's a straight shooter, people appreciate him because he's a nice guy, and I'm not trying to disparage his character. I'm just saying he's terrible at his job. That's all I'm saying. In my opinion, he's straight up garbage at his job.
Well,
anyway.
I just feel that we live in a world where everybody is raising prices on everything. And at the end of the day, something's got to give. People only have, and entertainment's being hit. How many streaming service price raises are we going to have per year? It's like everywhere we look for entertainment, they just keep raising the prices on us. And eventually something's got to give. We don't have the money. They just announced a Lego Star Trek The Next Generation Star Trek set for $400. That's going to cut into my streaming and movie watching.
That's pretty crazy.
But anyway, I think you're right. You can't keep raising prices and not offer more value for the money. And the fact is, you should be doing the opposite. You should be attracting people by making it more attractive to go into your theaters. And that is not just through great presentation and less commercials, but it's through reduced prices. Why don't you make the whole week reduced prices instead of just
like, it can't be
Taco
$5
Tuesdays?
a movie. I get that,
listen,
but
it's going to take courageous leadership, because the solution at this point is, you know what? We are going to have to fundamentally alter how we do business. And doing that change is going to cause us some short-term pain. But it's pain we got to go through to get to the other side to win the audience back. By the way, some genius in the live chat said, Campea doesn't get it. Adam Aron's job is to keep the share value up, not to make customers happy. Okay, let's look at the share. Let's look at the stock price right here. Let's look at it. This is the year. Oh yeah, Adam Aron's doing a great job. Yeah, really good. That's just this year. Adam Aron's doing a spectacular job keeping the share price up for the consumers. Anyway, sorry.
But you just hit something. You just hit on something. That's what the common thinking is. You've got to keep the shareholder value up. Well, that's because a shareholder value goes up when a company is successful.
And when its customers are happy.
And it's consistently successful. Yeah, and you can't do both.
They're bleeding a stone.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is what is not understood. Wall Street has been both great and detrimental to modern business. And, I guess if everybody wants to be Gordon Gekko, why do you want to wreck everything? Because it's wreckable. Sell it off, make your money, walk away. I mean, that's all we're getting these days. Doesn't anyone want to build a consistent business?
Yeah. Again, it's just, hey, Cinema United, call me. I'll get on stage and tell the truth.
Man, I'd videotape that. I'd bring my old video camera out of mothballs.
Yeah, the odds of this are very slim. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Apparently, AMC Theaters has lost $500 million this year, despite the fact that they've raised the prices on everything, and that didn't solve their problems. Crazy, right? Anyway, again, I get angry because I love whatever you guys think. Jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to this. You know, Rob, sometimes real wars in real life can look like they're small, insignificant things, but they can blow up and start having collateral effect. Like, what was it that started World War I? That Duke getting shot? Whatever.
Archduke Ferdinand.
That's one guy, whatever. Oh, yeah. Oops. Look what happened.
And that was after all of Europe was arming up.
World War I. Boom. The same kind of thing is almost kind of happening in an analogous way with the little battle going on between Disney and YouTube TV. What started out looking as a very simple and could be solved soon, but what started out with looking at a common, standard practice kind of dispute between Disney and YouTube TV, Disney's networks of ABC, ESPN, and a few others, their contract was up with YouTube TV, and it's time to re-up the contract, and they're having a dispute over terms and amounts. So Disney pulls their networks off of YouTube TV, which for me, if ESPN isn't on YouTube TV, I don't know why I have YouTube TV. But this has happened before with other networks as well. And then usually within about 24 hours, no kidding, they solve it. It's been about a week. People really felt it when they couldn't watch their college football on Saturday. And then I realized when I sat down on Sunday night to watch the Monday Night Football game, it's not on. There's no ESPN on my YouTube TV. So I had to go and pay $30 to get the ESPN app anyway to watch my football. Well, now the conflict is widening because now it's starting to hit the movies. How? Well, in this report, 9 to 5 Google and otherwise, originally believed came from The Verge, Disney has now pulled their movies off of the Google Play Store, which is where I buy my movies. Fortunately, movies that you've already bought are still there. You still have them. But if you don't have it already, you can't go and buy Disney movies anymore on the Google Play Store as of today. In response and in retaliation, one of the services that Disney is founded and everything, Movies Anywhere, a lot of you guys use Movies Anywhere. Google has announced Google Play Store and our video catalog stuff like will no longer be participating in Movies Anywhere. Now that's gone. This thing now, Rob, is starting to get out of control. This is escalating. What is it Ron Burgundy said? That escalated quickly.
We didn't start the fire.
This went from, okay, in about half a day, they'll get this little ESPN on YouTube TV settled. But it didn't, and it kept dragging out longer, and the war of words escalated, and then all of a sudden Disney's pulling their movies off the Google Play Store, and now Google's pulling out of Movies Anywhere, and it's like, this, what happens tomorrow? What's the next step? How does this escalate further? Or do they solve this thing? Anyway, Rob, this is the worst I've seen this type of scenario get so far. Can it get much worse? Is this the theoretical limit for how far it can go? But I don't know. How do you see this?
Well, it's not, you think with the amount of money you pay for YouTube TV, there wouldn't be a problem anywhere. But
dude, I'm paying like 6-7 years ago, I was paying like $35-40 for it. Paying almost $90 for it now.
Yeah, it's really expensive.
It's gotten way out of control.
Again, I guess these kinds of skirmishes are as we move forward in time are going to become more and more. I mean, I think we're going to see more of this. Again, it's corporations. What about the customers? The customers, there's nothing more off-putting than going to use a service that you're paying for and to find out that, oh, sorry, you don't get to watch. I mean, I read something about this going, once the people that love football jump in, like you just did, and that's when it's really going to start to hurt.
Because I'll tell you, for me, I'm giving it one more week, and then I'm canceling YouTube TV. I literally, it's the only reason I have YouTube TV.
Right. And I'm sure it's a lot of people's reasons for having YouTube TV.
Yeah. So, and now the question becomes, and what I worry about, although they've given assurances this won't happen, but my thing, one of my positions as a guy who collects my movies digitally and have done it for over 10 years now.
Well, that's your first mistake.
Is I have never misplaced, lost track of a single movie I've ever bought. Been available to me. I can be on a plane. It's like, oh, look, I can watch a movie. I can be at my dad's place up in Canada. Oh, look, I have full access to my entire movie library. Gorgeous. And whereas everybody say, oh, you can lose. Some people have. I've never lost a single movie. I still haven't to this day. Everything I've ever bought is still right there. Can't say that about my friends who have physical medium. They've all lost DVDs and movies and don't know where they are.
What kind of friends do you have? I've never lost.
You told me yourself in the midst of
people
moves
have
and
taken things.
Yes, people have taken
that's
them.
Why I don't loan
borrowed
out my
them,
discs.
and
Yes.
that's why they're not friends anymore.
Yeah, that's why you're out. You're out of the family, Tom.
But I've not lost one. But and even though they're giving assurances this won't happen here, now I'm starting to worry. Because admittedly, I don't have many Disney films in my digital movie catalog because I have Disney Plus and I can just watch them all there. But
Right.
I do have a couple.
That darn cat.
Hey, The Emperor's New Groove's coming out in 4K.
I've got a couple on there. And like, even though they're giving assurances, no, I'm worried. Like, am I suddenly going to lose those because Disney's going to say we're not playing with the Google Play Store anymore? I've never worried about it before until this moment. So I really hope this, okay, you think this is going to get resolved, or do you think Disney and YouTube TV are now permanently divorced? And if you do think it'll get resolved, how quickly do you think it'll happen?
I think it'll get resolved. It'll get resolved. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to happen quickly like tomorrow, but I do think it might take a while. I do think that it won't get alleviated quickly. It's just, look, it's bad business, and now people are getting bad press. And now it's being written about all over the place. And I don't think people want that. I don't think that it's just not good business. And the real question is, why can't you get your act together? The consumers are asking that question. And it puts a bad taste in consumers' mouths.
It's like you've known for a year when the deal was ending. Why are you only starting to negotiate now?
Because nobody can do their jobs anymore.
It's frustrating.
Everyone's lazy and no one's doing their jobs.
Anyway, guys, question is for you.
Except us.
Except us.
We're here every day.
What do you think about this? Are you like me? Are you like a subscriber to YouTube TV? I have been for a long time. And one of the only reasons you subscribe to it is to get your live sports. I don't know. How do you think this whole thing's going to end? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to this. You know, the moment they announced that there was going to be a Michael Jackson biopic, something I doubted would ever happen because I'm like, there's no way you can win with a Michael Jackson biopic. Either you highlight how great Michael Jackson is, which will piss off a lot of people, or you highlight how bad Michael Jackson was, which is going to piss off a lot of people. So I didn't know if they'd ever make one, but I did know this. If they ever do, it'll be the biggest musical biopic of all time. Then 2 years ago at CinemaCon, they showed us the first preview of the Michael Jackson biopic, Michael. And we were, Rob, you were there with me. We were like, holy crap, this looks epic in scale. And Michael Jackson's nephew, who plays Michael, you could have fooled me that wasn't Michael Jackson himself. I mean, I was like, and it just looked fantastic. And today, and then came all the problems with, oopsie, we forgot we weren't allowed to make this part of the movie, and yet we did. Anyway, all the drama, all the delays. Today, they finally dropped the first, what is truly a teaser, a little over a minute long. As Variety's reporting here, the Michael Jackson trailer. Michael, Jackson becomes the king of pop in the first footage from the biopic. So I'm like, okay, let's go and watch it. Very different from the presentation they showed us at CinemaCon. Actually, I'm going to say most of the stuff in this trailer is stuff I have not seen yet before. Dude, I got to tell you, for a first trailer to a musical biopic, which you guys know I'm not the biggest, I'm not necessarily get all that excited about musical biopics. This was a damn good trailer, man.
Really good.
This was a really, everything from the way they mixed the music.
Yeah, like a mashup.
Like, yeah, Jonathan and I were listening to it. It's like at one point they were playing the music and it was no less than 4 Michael Jackson songs layered on top of each other. Because you had Mama Say, Mama Say, well, boom, 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 boom. It was going and all this
Pretty Young Thing was
pretty
in
young
there.
things in the background. Visually, cinematically, as all the big hits are being put on the pinboard and everything. This was a masterpiece of a first trailer to a musical biopic. I'll go out on a limb and say this. There's never been a better one. There's never been a better first trailer to a musical biopic. I'm not saying this will be the best musical biopic of all time. Who knows? But I got to tell you, I was floored. And Rob, this trailer and seeing the response to it already has just completely solidified what I've said all along. This will be the first $1 billion biopic. This will be the biggest musical biopic. Whether it'll be the best one or not, I don't know. But it will be the biggest musical biopic of all time.
You mean Titanic's not real?
Well, that's more of an event more than a biopic.
But I thought my girl, I thought she was a real person.
Should have been tried for murder.
Yes.
There was room on that door. This is going to be the biggest musical biopic of all time. I can't speak to the quality of it, but I know Antoine Fuqua was directing it, and he's a hell of a director. And
my man.
I got to tell you, man, this thing is going to shake the world. Anyway, Rob, you had a chance to see this first teaser for Michael. What did you think of it?
I felt the same way as you. I thought it was a fantastic trailer, fantastic teaser. And by the way, the guy who's playing Quincy Jones, he's going to get an Oscar nomination just for the little glimpse. Just the way the voice and what he says. I mean, first of all, I love Quincy Jones. I think Quincy Jones, his career is unbelievable. I mean, the man scored Color Purple and produced all these banger Michael Jackson songs.
And how could Miles Teller look in that?
Oh,
like that was like, holy crap, that's Miles Teller.
The whole movie. I mean, the way it's shot, it just looks A-list all the way. The hair. I can't wait.
I knew people that looked exactly like that in my childhood.
Yeah, totally. Totally. And I'll tell you something else, too. You know, when I was watching this trailer, I was thinking about how much of my life was spent, because in the 70s, you had the Jackson 5. You know, they were on TV, ABC, and Michael Jackson has been a part of my life literally since I was a little kid. So to hear these songs like that, like you were talking about the mashups and stuff, just watching the trailer, I was reminded, I was taken back to many different years throughout my childhood.
Eras.
Different eras. I remember when Bad came out on CD. This seems funny to say, but they started printing picture discs.
Picture discs,
yeah, on
yes.
CDs.
Yep.
And like two of the very first were George Michael's Faith and Bad. And it was like, there's pictures on CDs. It's not just words and silver. And, you think about it now, it's so silly, but when Bad came out, it was the first Michael Jackson album that came out in the CD era. And the promotion for it was huge.
Yeah.
And Martin Scorsese directed that music video. And, I just, and that was.
Weird Al Yankovic made one of the best parody songs of all time. Off of
yes. And that was in the latter half of the 80s, and Michael Jackson's been around with us for a long time. And I met him once.
Really? I don't think I knew that.
I did. It was check this out. Golden Apple Comics on Melrose.
Yeah.
I just happened to be there. I was talking to Sharon Leibowitz, who ran the store, and she's like, listen, we have to close the store. It's like in the middle of the day, but you can stay. And I'm like, why do you have to close the store? Michael Jackson's coming. And Michael Jackson shows up in a limo with a bunch of kids and their parents, their moms. And he comes out and he's looking through Golden Apple, and he would come and just buy a bunch of statues. And we actually talked just a brief moment. He asked me I don't remember what the statue was. I couldn't believe that I'm sitting here talking to Michael Jackson in a comic book store. and he bought like thousands of dollars of stuff. And he was
because
totally,
he'd go through stores and just be like, I'm going to take that. I'll
yeah,
take
he was
that.
totally into it. But he asked me, and I don't even remember. I was so stunned. I don't even know what I said. I was like, you know, and I mean, really, and it was like a Batman statue, and it was just wild because he had this star presence, and he was so nice, and he knew his stuff too. He wasn't just, he knew it. He was an imagination connoisseur par excellence. That man, he really was. But met him in Golden Apple.
Now, I'm still think there's going to be a lot of controversy surrounding the film. I mean, that's going to be inevitable, and maybe maybe they're counting on it. I don't know. Maybe Lionsgate, in maybe their brilliance, is counting on there being some controversy to kind of drive the narrative of the movie a little bit more. But I just know this: the trailer is a banger. It's a really, really great trailer. Again, we've seen a lot of great trailers to movies that end up being garbage, and maybe this is one of them. But I got a lot of faith in Antoine Fuqua.
I do too. He's an incredible. The guy's a powerhouse director.
Yeah,
he can do any genre too.
And I'm just stunned by how, Rob, the word that came into my head a lot when the trailer ended was grand.
Yes.
I was shocked how grand the whole thing feels, because a lot of times these biopics will feel kind of small, and sometimes that's a good thing. But Michael Jackson, you got to remember, he kind of took over the world. In a world where there was no social media,
right,
no YouTube, no TikToks, he just straight up through sheer force of power of his talent and his material became the king of pop. And there's to this day never been one like him.
There's even a clip
crazy
from the Thriller music video in that trailer, and I'm like, I just want to see him recreate the making
I want to see
of
them
that
do that
video.
whole thing.
I wonder if someone's going to play John Landis.
Oh. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Did you have a chance to see the trailer for Michael? I think it looks quite good. I'm kind of shocked by how good it looks. This is going to be, do you agree with me that this is going to be the biggest biopic of all time at the box office? Whatever you guys think about it, jump down in the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, it's time for us to go on to the most important part of our show, which is, of course, taking your live comments and questions. But before we do, we will bid good afternoon to writer, director, producer, par excellence, Robert Meyer Burnett. Robert, great job as always, my friend. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, John. I might go see Predator Badlands again.
If I wasn't going to that hockey game tonight, I'd go with you. Oh, God, I want to see that again. All right, guys, let's get over to your questions here, shall we? Jonathan, what we got up first?
First up, we got the sock. We haven't heard from the sock in a while. What IP are you most surprised that a studio just let fall to the wayside?
That's a good one. What big IP is out there that I'm surprised they're letting fall to the wayside? Man.
It's hard to say because there's been so many revivals lately.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting to the point that almost every big legit IP has been mined. And probably people in the live chat saying Muppets, Looney Tunes. Guys, nobody goes to watch the Muppets and Looney Tunes. Sorry, but we have they have done Muppets and Looney Tunes, and not a lot of people go to see them. I mean, Jump Street, obviously we've had Jump Street. Warcraft, they try to do Warcraft. Star Trek in cinemas, they've had Star Trek in cinemas.
They're working on more now.
And they're working on more, but not a lot of people have gone.
I mean, we have like I said, we have revivals. We have like Beverly Hills Cop revivals. We have this revival. We have that revival.
It's hard to say. I mean, it's a really great question, but I'd have to think on that because they've done just about everything.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a good question. Let me think about that.
Yep.
All right, what's next?
We got Anorak, the all-knowing. Have RDJ
That's a great username.
have RDJ be a big marketing manager for Doomsday, and instead of Nicole Kidman in the AMC ad, have RDJ instead, and let it be a big build up to the creativity of marketing for this film. Had a dream about it. It's a picture. You know what they should do is, and all the chairs in the movie theater has the name of the stars in the movie.
Just make these little seat covers and put them over top of all of them. I mean, look, I don't know what, but Avengers Doomsday is going to have a marketing campaign, the likes of which no movie ever has, because they really need it. I mean, Marvel needs this one to be a big hit. They really do. And the most expensive marketing campaigns ever have been Avengers films. This one will be no different. And now that they're kind of work a little bit with Ryan Reynolds, I'm absolutely sure they're probably, because I mean, we all agree nobody has guerrilla marketed their movies better than Ryan Reynolds has, particularly with the Deadpool films, right? So they're going to mine him. They're going to get creative. They're going to do a lot of different things. So whereas you might have been a little bit facetious with your thing, we could see something like that. It is going to be one of the most robust ad campaigns ever. And I'm going to be curious to see what they do with it.
Yep.
All right, what's next?
Anonymous. There's a part of me that wants the new Mummy movie, due to the return of Rachel Weisz, to be a continuation of the Emotep story, where this time the protagonists deliberately resurrect him because they need his help against a greater threat.
That is a common Hollywood trope.
You'd have to convince him that he should fight for them, and you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing about the adversary now needs to become the uneasy ally as we have to team up against a bigger threat. I'm not saying that's a bad idea. I'm saying that is a standard, well-used Hollywood trope, but it's well-used for a reason, because it can have really good dramatic effect. And I mean, like, where do you go with the Mummy? Maybe this time it's got to work with the Mummy. I mean, it's not the craziest idea in the world. I wouldn't be shocked to see them go in that direction if that's what they did. All right, what's next?
Australian Jedi, as Ellison's plans for Paramount reportedly include tons of AI and gearing most films and TV toward dude bros. I really don't want him to get his hands on Warner Brothers now, since the strategy can only lead to ruin, in my opinion.
Look, here's the problem. This is the problem with perception, is that you can do one and do the other. Listen, I think Ellison's not wrong in the sense that, hey, that's a big market. We should tailor some content to that. But just because that becomes one of the things they do, that does not mean that they don't also continue to make, great adult drama or great comedy or great whatever that are outside of that. And listen, by the way, guys, look, every studio, even small ones, are already working with how to develop AI and how to work with AI. They just all are. Just like every corner store is figuring out how to leverage AI. And every accountant, is figuring out how to leverage AI. And how every small business owner is trying to figure out how to leverage AI. One of the university classes that my wife teaches on project management is using AI in project management, how to effectively use AI in project management. Movie studios are no different. They're trying to figure out the best ways to use it too. And that's just an unavoidable part of the future right now. It is what it is. All right, what's next?
Belted Earth. Hey, John and crew, on Monday I had the privilege of attending the Badlands red carpet in Hollywood.
Nice.
I even got Dan, is it Trachtenberg or Trachtenberg? Trachtenberg to sign my Predator mask along with Deck the Predator. Love the movie for being PG-13. It's still brutal. It was a bold move.
It wasn't, but it wasn't even a bold move. This is the thing. We tried to tell people this. We've been telling people this for years and years and years and years. If those... You've seen them in the trailers. You see there are human soldiers, right, in the trailers. Well, they're not human. They're synths.
Right.
They're Weyland-Yutani synths. And we said this in the months leading up to this movie. We have been saying this for years and years and years, whether it's Transformers movies or whatever. You can do unspeakable, unholy violence against characters in movies that would easily get you a very hard R. But if those characters you are visiting unspeakable violence upon are vampires or aliens or monsters or robots or whatever, guess what? You get a PG-13. Because I'll tell you what, this movie's more violent than the first Predator movie was. This movie is more violent than the first Predator movie was. But it gets a PG-13 because what it is visiting all of this unspeakable and brutal violence on are either alien creatures or androids.
Right. So Prey is different. They were all humans.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Other than a bear.
All right, what's next?
We got A two-parter from your Orlando Informer. Can't wait to meet you on November 24th. I love that you picked my theater that I normally go to. I actually worked at that theater for 5 years and still go to see my movies.
Oh, nice. That's the AMC Disney Springs. Yeah.
He still goes to see his movies there. Just a heads up, you will be sitting in the building Iger and Chapek have been to watch the summer lineups. I've seen them both there. And the same theater that Dick Tracy had its premiere in.
Oh, listen, I'm sure that movie's had a lot of premieres, or that theater's had a lot of premieres at it. By the way, I have actually been to Disney Springs. I've never been to the AMC at Disney Springs, but I was at Disney. I visited Disney Springs once. It was back when Star Wars. What's it called? What's the big Star Wars event called every year?
Oh,
every 2 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I can't. Guys in the live chat, what's the name of the big
Celebration?
Celebration.
Yeah.
So when Star Wars Celebration was in Orlando, me and some of the team, we went down and spent some time in Disney Springs. It's a really cool place. I had dinner at this amazing Cuban restaurant that was there. I hope it's still there because I like to eat there again. So yeah, I'm really excited about going back to Disney Springs. And Ann and I are actually going to spend a few days in Orlando.
Nice.
So we're going to go down there, and then we got some friends flying out that are fly out there as well and meet us there. And we're going to spend like 4 or 5 days in Orlando.
And
go see Epic Universe,
yeah.
visit Universal Studios, all that kind of
Weather
stuff.
will be a lot nicer. The last time I was in Florida was July, and I do not recommend it.
Ooh, no. Yeah, but yeah, didn't want to go to Florida in the middle of summer.
Spider Yavnik. A while ago, I wrote about starting a software engineer internship at Meta. The internship was tough, but listen to your show daily helped me stay focused and
Oh, great.
entertained. Got the email about a full-time offer today. Thanks for helping me along the way. Congrats.
Well, dude, that's awesome because in the tech industry, there have been a lot of layoffs lately.
Oh, and that was a $20 tip, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much for supporting us on that level, man. I really appreciate that. But that's the way it should work, right? You get education, you get internship to gain experience and know-how and expertise, and then that rolls into a full-time job. That is how ideally the system should work. So I'm really glad it worked out for you, man. That's good. That's fantastic. I'm glad to hear it. All right, what's next?
One Trick Pony says, I'd like to see Nintendo create a Roadhouse-style sports universe where in each movie the main character shows up in different countries and competes in different games. USA, Tony Hawk Japan, Wave Race, Switzerland, SSX, and Australia Excite Bike.
I don't think anybody goes to see those movies.
I think those things could be featured bits in a movie under their property, but...
Yeah, I'll go with you on that. Like, that could be an interesting bit, but no one's going to go see those movies.
Like, there's an Excite Bike tournament and it's happening or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I got a lot of pushback on when I said something the other day, but I'm telling you, I stand by this. I said the other day when we were talking about Nintendo being more serious about putting out, they're now in the movie business period. They're going to put out a regular cadence of movies, they said, all that kind of stuff. And I said, that's great. But outside of the Mario movies and maybe Legend of Zelda, you don't have any other properties that are like universally and multi-generationally beloved. And people got mad at me. John, you don't get it. This and this is great. And this is great. It's like, I'm not saying those things aren't great, but they are not common household names like Mario is. Mario is Nintendo. I mean, it just is. Mario is something everybody knows and everybody appreciates and everybody loves. And a distant second to that would be Zelda. That's a distant second, but that's a second. But you really don't have, no, John, you don't understand. Okay, that's fine. You can think that if you want. But it's just going to be, that's why I said when we talked about the other day that, like, I bet one of those two mystery movies is going to be another Mario one. They might try to develop Donkey Kong. Maybe Luigi's Mansion, but even that's kind of connected to Mario Brothers because he is one of the Mario Brothers. But it's just going to be interesting to see how they're able to evolve this and do it. And it's going to be really interesting. We're going to keep our eyes on it. All right, what's next?
Supreme Leader, turning 25 on Saturday.
Happy birthday.
So old, man. So I'm double featuring Predator, Die My Love tonight. What movies would you, here's the question. What movies would you like to see made with Muppets, keeping only one human character? I'd like John Wick or Bridesmaid with Melissa McCarthy, Halloween, Michael Myers. I will go Back to the Future with Michael J. Fox, and the rest are all Muppets.
That's a good one. I'm going to go a little different here. The Usual Suspects.
Who's the human? Is it Kaiser Soze or is it like the cop?
Well, I mean, you can get any actor to be like to be the cop, or any actor. You know, you get an actor to be the what's the actor's name who played D'Artagnan in Man in the Iron Mask? I'm freezing on the actor's name. Anyway, guys in the live chat, if you know what's the name of the actor is from who was also in it's not Chamberlain, who was in Man in the Iron Mask. He was D'Artagnan in Man in the Iron Mask, and he was in Usual Suspects. Gabriel Byrne. Thank you.
Yeah,
Daniel Kinder was the first one. So you can either be Gabriel Byrne, or you get any famous human actor to play the role of Gabriel Byrne, and then do all the rest of the Usual Suspects as Muppets. Sign me up. I would totally be there in a heartbeat.
That lineup scene alone.
That's exactly what I was thinking. You got Animal, and you got the Eagle. Got Eagle Sam.
And then I'm just thinking the twist at the end, and his little Muppet mouth just opens wide as he looks at the board and drops his coffee.
Figuring it out. Oh yeah, man. Gonzo can be Kaiser Soze.
You just see the little like leg like coming back to normal form and then walking.
Oh. All right, what's next?
I mean, that Michael trailer deserves an Oscar, even if the film is bad. Well, there are trailer awards. Even if the
Golden Trailer Awards.
Even if the film is bad, the one guarantee is the music, and that alone is going to get people in the seats. It's a 4-quadrant film. If it's great, it could be the new Top Gun and actually get people back into theaters.
I think this movie is going to be $1 billion film. I really do. Now, if it turns out that the movie's awful and it's garbage and all that kind of stuff, okay, then maybe it doesn't make $1 billion. Yeah. But all other things being equal, and again, I completely trust Antoine Fuqua. I think this is going to be our first $1 billion biopic, and I'm really interested. I was really interested in seeing this once they showed us the preview at CinemaCon 2 years ago. Now this trailer, really moves the needle a lot. All right, what's next?
Zodley, with Nintendo being in the movie business, do you think one of their planned movies could be another attempt at Pokemon? I think it still has the highest grossing media IP in the world.
Doesn't matter. It's already proven that it doesn't bring out a movie audience. I mean, hell, they made a pretty good one.
I love Detective Pikachu.
They made a pretty good live action Detective Pikachu, and even had the voice of a guy who was one of the biggest movie stars in the world at the time, Ryan Reynolds, doing the voice. And it was pretty good. And it didn't really, I mean, don't get me wrong, it didn't flop, but you know what also one of the top 10 biggest IPs in the world is? Winnie the Pooh. I was shocked when I found that out, when I read the study on it. Doesn't mean people are flocking out to see the movies of it. I don't know that a live action Pokemon thing is in the cards. I just don't know that.
No pun intended.
Yeah. I think it'll do better on a smaller scale, doing animated stuff. Appeal to its niche audience, and it's a big IP, so it can find successor, but big IP does not necessarily translate into people rushing out to a box office to see a live action version of it.
Yep.
All right, what's next?
All right, Super Dante. Hey guys, don't know if you had a chance to see the Michael trailer yet, but OMG, literally the perfect trailer in my opinion. The chills I got was insane, and yes, I know it's crazy to say, but holy Oscar Batman, love the show and keep up the great work. I don't know that I saw anything Oscar worthy in it.
I mean, but I'll say this for it though.
That doesn't mean it's not in it. I'm just saying in the
felt
trailer.
like an Oscar film.
Sure.
The trailer felt like an Oscar film. So I'll if that's what they're going for, I see what they're saying. Listen, we always got to leave room for this. We've all seen lots of great trailers to movies we end up hating, right? And
Cloud Atlas. Loved Cloud Atlas trailer. I still go back and watch it for that M83 song.
Gangster Squad.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Every Transformers trailer. But and end up being crappy. It happens all the time. But if we're just talking about the trailer, man, it is a perfect first trailer for a music biopic. It's utter perfection for a first trailer to a musical biopic. It pretty much hit every note. No pun intended. All right, what's next?
Rock Soldier, I'm visiting London, and last night I had a chance to see an advanced screening of The Running Man at a large dedicated IMAX cinema. The kicker was there was a Q&A with Edgar Wright at the end.
Nice.
He is a joy, and the movie is fantastic. Cheers, mates.
I
Nice.
can't wait to watch it. I got my tickets already. And yeah, Edgar Wright is a total amazing guy. He's been on panels of mine at Comic-Con. They've had me moderate theater Q&As with him and Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, and I've got to do that stuff with them before. And he's always just been the most amazing, cool, down-to-earth guy. I mean, I won't bring up the picture again, but remember I brought up that one picture of me and Edgar Wright.
That was Comic-Con, right?
How many? No. How many years ago was it?
Oh, boy.
It was their first North American screening.
That's right.
Of Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
And they invited me and some guys from the movie blog. That was my old website. To be at that screening. And they had just flown in from the UK. And we did the screening of Shaun of the Dead. And there's this picture of me and Edgar. And Edgar looks like he's 14 years old. And I've shown it on the show before.
Yeah.
I won't go digging up now, but he looks like he's 14 years old in the picture, man. And we both look a lot younger, but because that was a while ago. But he honestly, he couldn't, that was the first time I ever got a chance to meet him. He couldn't be nicer. He couldn't be better. And I cheer for the guy all the time. And I'm so excited about this new movie. All right, what's next?
We got Cade, Hi John, and crew. After 2+ years being on A-list, I canceled in September. Alamo Drafthouse put out their all-in pass, and I got to say, I'm never switching back to AMC. 15 to 20 minute max of ads, and their strict quiet zone policy. I hope they expand. Well, that's only a 10-minute difference on ads, but that's still, I get it. My problem is I live in Burbank, and the closest one is downtown LA, and I'm not driving to downtown LA every time I want to see a movie.
And it's impossible to get to it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
By the way, I've been to that Alamo Drafthouse, and it's really good. Their pass also isn't as good as AMC A-lists. But if I had an Alamo Drafthouse, and I've got some issues with their owner, some ethical issues with their owner. That being said, if there was an AMC or an Alamo Drafthouse beside my AMC, because I've got about an hour and 15-minute drive to my closest Alamo Drafthouse, I would give serious consideration to that because, yes, I love their no tolerance policy of people coming in late, no tolerance of people talking during the movies, no tolerance of people using their phones. I love all of that. And less trailer time, love that. But man, AMC A-List gives you a lot because you don't have to pay any extra for IMAX. You don't have to pay any extra. That's the one big difference between AMC A-List 2 and Regal Unlimited. Regal Unlimited is a great pass.
Yeah.
Absolutely a great pass.
You get up charges.
But if you want to watch it on one of the premium screens, you got to pay a couple extra bucks.
Which is pretty much why I have A-List.
Yeah.
So.
A-List, IMAX, no problem. Prime, no problem. AMC XL, no problem. 3D, although I don't know why anybody's wasting their time going to a 3D movie, but 3D, no problem. It's all included. And you get 4 movies a week and all that kind of stuff. So it's a really good deal, but I'm glad to see other theater chains starting to up their membership things as well, because it's a great deal for the audience.
Yep.
All right. What's next?
Anonymous. I saw that, hey John, I saw that WBD released their Q3 shareholder letter today. In it, they mentioned Lanterns is still slated for early 2026 release. Great news if so. This show can't come soon enough.
Yeah, and the people at the Hollywood Reporter are standing by their statements saying that they know it's actually going to come out after Supergirl. So we'll find out. I mean, I hope it comes out before Supergirl. I hope it comes out early in 2026, just because I'm dying to see it. I can't wait to watch this thing. But you know, Hollywood Reporter standing by saying, "No, it comes out," but who knows? We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I'm kind of surprised.
I hope you're right.
I'm surprised Gunn hasn't just addressed something like
Yeah,
that.
I'm sure Gunn is a very direct communicator. I'm sure at some point he'll just come out and say something. All right, what's next?
James Welsh, I read an article in the Hollywood Reporter that Netflix signed a deal with Mattel to make official K-pop toys. Catch is they won't be out till 2026, missing the Christmas, which would be peak of demand. Seems silly because they got on it too late.
They got on too late. And by the way, it's not just Mattel, it's also Hasbro. They signed deals with the 2 major toy companies.
There's a big run-up for
Hasbro
toys.
and Mattel. But this is what people don't understand. Because my wife used to be a bigwig like over at Hasbro. She used to be over there. She used to oversee the entire Disney Princess line. That was one. She had other projects as well, but one of the first things Anne had to do when she was at Hasbro, these were in the early days when she was at Hasbro. They had to fly her out to Skywalker Ranch and go in and see all the models and what's the word? Why am I freezing on the name of storyboards? Storyboards, models, illustrations, and all that kind of stuff for the upcoming Star Wars movie, because they had to get their, it was going to be a year-long process to get the toys ready. So they had to see Anne had to see all of this stuff way before the movie came out. For K-pop Demon Hunters, it's not like, give the thing to Mattel, bring out a toy next week. That's not how the process works. It's a long process. And yes, as the moment Netflix and Sony realized that this thing was a hit, they should have been on it. But they waited a couple of months and then struck the deals. And so, it's not going to be until after the Christmas season. So they are going to miss out. They're going to miss out a lot. But hey, it is what it is. All right, what's next?
Bruce Stark, hey, John and crew. I had to move from Montreal to Sherbrooke in Quebec last week because found a new job there. Your show was a great company during these challenging times for me.
I've been to both Montreal I've been to Montreal a number of times, and Sherbrooke, Quebec. God, Quebec. Listen, man, I'll tell you, Quebec is a great party province. It's a great party province. Me and my buddy, we would jump in our car and, make it's not too many hours, like 4, 5, 6 hours at most. And we would drive out to Montreal and spend a few days in Montreal. The Old Quarter, we've gone in Quebec City, Sherbrooke. But it is a party scene, man. It was really, really fun. I love those towns. All right, what's next?
Anonymous, hey, John, I have to disagree with your take on the Michael Jackson movie regarding box office comps. Bohemian Rhapsody is the exception, not the rule. Bohemian Rhapsody grossed $910 million worldwide.
So what are you disagreeing about?
Right. They could both be exceptions.
I've never said musical biopics make huge amounts of money. I just said this is going to be the biggest musical biopic ever made. I've never said, well, those musical biopics, they all make tons of money. No, I've never said that. What I am saying is that this will be the biggest one ever, and it will be the first $1 billion one. It just will. And if I don't understand how you can disagree with that. I really don't. This is Michael Jackson.
I think he misunderstood because he continues. I didn't realize this, but since 2020, we've had biopics of Elvis, Bob Dylan, Bob Marley, Aretha Franklin, Bruce Springsteen, and Whitney Houston. Those movies have only grossed 730 combined. That's an average of 121. Yeah, but we're saying we're saying it's the exception.
Yeah,
we're agreeing.
This will be the biggest of all of them, and that includes Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
This is Michael Jackson. This is the one. There is no bigger musical biopic ever to be made, period. This is it. This is one the industry has been wondering for 20 years if they were ever going to make. And now here it is. And it will be the one. The first one ever to be over the $1 billion mark. Because now granted, here's the one caveat to all this, of course, is that Bohemian Rhapsody was a brilliant film. And if Michael sucks, then it won't make $1 billion. But I'm going to play the safe card here that Antoine Fuqua is not going to make one that sucks. And so it'll be the first one to make $1 billion. All right, what's next?
Yikes says, these are the last two. Predator is last on my watch list for this weekend. Much more excited to check out Sentimental Value, Begonia, Die My Love, Train Dreams, and Christie. Which of these movies will you guys be seeing this weekend? I don't know that I'm going to have time this weekend, but Begonia's on my list.
Begonia and Christie.
Yeah.
And
Die My Love I'm interested in.
And I didn't like it all that much.
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
But Begonia, because it looks like it could be a Best Picture contender. And I've heard good things about Christie. I don't think it's going to be an Oscar contender.
I'm doing Predator
I've heard good things
tonight.
about it.
Yeah.
I'll probably only get a chance to see one.
Yeah.
Because
Well, you're.
I'm going to the hockey game tonight.
Yeah.
then tomorrow we've got friends coming over for a barbecue tomorrow, and Sunday's football. So I'm going to try to squeeze in one movie.
And next week gets real tight for you.
And then next week gets crazy because I'm hitting the road for 2 weeks to go out on the movie meetup tour. But if I can get out to 2, those are the 2 that I'm going to see this weekend. All right, what's next?
All right, Brennan, here's our last of the tips. Did you guys hear about the successful ticket launch for Five Nights at Freddy's 2 yesterday? Love the new trailer. Can't wait for December 5th.
Yeah, I think the trailer's pretty good. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. While I was really excited for Five Nights at Freddy's, if you guys have watched my show for a long period of time, you know I was excited for a long time for Five Nights at Freddy's. I didn't think Five Nights at Freddy's was actually all that good. I didn't think it was terrible. I don't think it was terrible, but I didn't think, I was a little, I'll be honest, straight up, I was disappointed with it. The new trailers look pretty good. And so I'm going to get back on the horse and go out and see this one again too. So I'm pretty stoked about it. All right, guys. And that'll do it for today's installment of the John Campea Show. Thank you so much for being here and making our little show a part of your day. Big special thank you to all you guys who sent in the questions. Number 1, because you gave us great fun things to talk about. But number 2, you supported this channel as you did it. And all of us involved with the show. Thank you guys so very much for your support. Big special thanks, of course, to Robert Meyer Burnett, our technical producer, Jonathan Voico.
All right, guys. Real quick, because we're talking about Five Nights at Freddy's there, I was like, I remember I did that Let's Play of Five Nights at Freddy's 4 for the React channel years ago. Like 11 million views on that thing. I edited that. I did that 10 years ago.
A lot of people don't remember. Jonathan was a post-production guy for the Fine Brothers, for the React channels.
Yeah, check it out if you want, but I can't believe that was a decade ago that I did that.
And it made 11 million views.
Crazy. Anyway, see you guys later.
Anyway, that'll do it for us for today, guys. Thanks a lot for being here. And until next time, my friends. Hoo-hoo!